afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Cherijan Durnila Maridable, and today I will be sharing to you this topic entitled Technology as a Mediating Tool in L2 Language Learning. What is technology? So let's start with this question. What is technology? Do you have any idea what is technology? So technology is the sum of any techniques, skills, methods, and processes used in the production of goods or services or in the accomplishment of objectives such as scientific investigation. Why is technology important? Technology brings skills, knowledge, process, techniques, and tools together for solving problems of human beings. Okay, it can solve problems of human beings, making their life secure and easier. Using this technology, we will be connected. So it means that if we have problems, it can be solved, okay, easier. And it can be solved not only in an easier way, but easily. How can technology help you learn another language? Technology also offers dozens of tools to help learners in real time. Learners can use technology during class to communicate with one another via text chatting rather than speaking, which is beneficial for the language learning process because it allows learners time to reflect and review their output. I know you're familiar with this text chatting, okay? So technology transforms students from passive recipients to active learners as well, and it allows more profound and enriching linguistic immersion. Students study their English course using comprehensive apps, which synchronize even without the internet. And I know most of us, we have these apps that we are using. Okay, so we can use our iPhone, we can use our Samsung phone for checking which apps are really useful for us or for our students. So what technology is useful to students with language problems? So let's say you have a student and this student has a language problem. So blended learning, virtual classrooms, and learning management systems are all examples of this new era of teaching methodology that top pedagogical experts, and they are really endorsing this one, is because this can really help students with learning problems. So in one classroom, there might be one student who is not really good with language learning. So it is your chance to be a blessing to that student. So you can call his attention or call her attention. Actually, I have this Saturday class and most of them are graduate students, but then they still have these problems with communication. So there's a problem when it comes to pronouncing the words correctly. And some also have the misunderstanding some facts presented in the class. So I have given them some apps which can really help them and could really boost their confidence so that when the time comes that they will be presenting, normally on the 5th or 6th week of my class, I ask them to do a case study presentation. So I could really see their progress from the time being, like I have given them on the 1st week, and then they have to make a presentation on the 4th or the 5th week. I could see that they really progress, and it's really effective if we will be, on the first day of the class, we will be allowing them to express themselves. These days, I'm trying to encourage them to express themselves through videotaping or audio file. So it means that every time I finish the class, they have these daily activities where they need to submit a video file or an audio file of their answers. Since I'm teaching speaking class, I cannot let them write. It would be a writing class. And if I'll be asking them to read, then that would be a reading class. So since it's a speaking class, they need to express themselves using the video and audio file. And I found it really interesting, like on the first day of class, they give a 1 to 2 minutes introduction of themselves. And oh, it's amazing. Like I come to know them right away because of that one. But then if I have 45 students in the class and these students would be giving their videos, 45 students times 2 minutes, let's say, other students make a really long video presentation about themselves. So that would last like 5 minutes. Oh, it takes time to check, but it's really rewarding, knowing your students first and then helping them with their need. They have various needs. One student has a different need with the other. So in this case, normally it's a language problem. So you have to find ways in helping them with this status that they have that could really put them down. Like if they're in speaking class, and their level is level 2, that could be lower than level 3 and 4 and 5. However, you can really pull them up if you will find ways to blend some lessons within the context that you have, so that they would have a chance to freely express themselves rather than relying on themselves. So our goal as a teacher is giving them apps, giving them like support using technology. If ever we cannot be there, just like these days, there's pandemic, so I cannot meet them right away. I cannot have a coffee meeting with them and just plainly tell them directly that you need this one. And it would not be good if I will be like telling them online, oh, you have to do well with this one. So what I'm doing is we have a group chat. So I have to inform them that everybody, please check this one. I want you to improve. Of course, I have good students in the class. There are also lower students. There are also just normal students when it comes to language learning. But then giving instruction at this point is that for everybody, no one should be left out and no one should feel inferior because I am giving them this instruction. Instruction is for everybody. So that is how you have to use technology in helping your students' language problem. So technology in language learning can transform students from passive recipients to active learners. So that's what I was saying, when from level 2, you have to pull them up and raise them to level 3, 4, or 5. Then you could allow them to have this profound and enriching linguistic immersion. It is important that they will be immersed, okay, linguistically. So students can study their English course using a variety of comprehensive apps later. So what are some benefits of technology in the classroom? First, it can create a more engaging environment, classroom environment, incorporates different learning styles. You can exercise these different learning styles. Some students are kinesthetic learner, so they cannot be mixed with other students. However, we are in this setup where I have these 45 students, but then they are of different learning needs, and they also should have these different learning styles. So what can I do with this one? So using different, segregating them into different learning needs would allow you to really help or support them with maybe the language need that they have. So you have to use different learning styles, and only technology can help you with that one. Thankfully, we have this messenger, we have this online platform where we can meet the students anytime that they need help. So whenever they have a problem, they always post that in our group chat, or they give a personal message. Teacher, I have this problem. Would you mind helping me? Okay, the teacher in this language learning process must be friendlier. It's not snob. That is important because this would improve also the collaboration among the students, and eventually this would prepare students for the future. Okay, it could also connect them with other students, not only locally, but internationally. So how does technology contribute to foreign language teachers? Technology offers foreign language teachers a chance to supplement their instruction by, number one, making learning visible. Number two, this technology can bring another culture into the classroom. Using these technology tools that connect to foreign lands could display how others live, okay, in their country, and this would allow students to see and experience language in a whole new way. It was 2 months ago when we had this conference with Japanese university students under my friend's supervision. They are university students in Japan who has this cultural immersion project. So they connected with me. It so happened that the case study that we have that time is related to brands. It means that brands around the world. So it's just funny because the need of these students, their needs actually was fed by these university students from UH. How did it happen? So we use this Zoom platform and we connect for 90 minutes, explaining the culture that we have in Vietnam and of course the culture that they have in Japan. So there was this exchange of information and ideas among students. So Zoom has this breakout rooms. So we put them into breakout rooms, 5 students in each room. So there are 3 Japanese and 2 Vietnamese, 3 Vietnamese and 2 Japanese, just for them to have this talk and to fully express themselves. It's just amazing, you know. I have these students who rarely talk in the class, but during that time, I have witnessed that she talks a lot with foreign friends, new foreign friends. And until today, you won't believe, but they are still friends. That was one of the best things that I think technology has done to them, connecting lives and sharing ideas from different countries, sharing culture, Japanese culture and Vietnamese culture. It allows students to see and experience language in a whole new way. So learning Vietnamese was fun, learning Japanese was fun. At the same time, the only thing that bind them was English. So they're learning different languages using this English language, which is common to all of them. So until today, I have this connection with some friends. They are my friends in some of the organizations, international organizations. So our focus is to really help students improve. So it's really fun, you know. Without this technology, they won't have a chance that they could meet face to face. Thankfully, this is one of the blessings of the pandemic, this technology that binds people regardless of the distance, regardless of the time zones that we have. What is the impact of these technologies in language learning process of the students? Technology can be one of the ways to create real and enjoyable atmosphere for young learners. And this technology would let young language learners gain language skills outside the classroom when they interact actively. After every Zoom class that we have with my UH university students, we have these activities of the day, which they have to do things using technology. They have to send a video file of themselves. They have to send an audio file of themselves explaining the lessons that they have learned throughout the discussion that we have. And also they have to share their opinions about the case study that they have read. And of course, they have to like wrestle with different ideas of their friends. That's how useful technology is during this time, especially that we cannot really connect with each other face to face. So how can you apply technology, let's say in language learning? So it offers audiences all over the world with language learning resources, and this can be accessed wherever you are, whatever time it might be. And students are no longer required to follow the face-to-face learning paths if we have this technology. Why? They can instead, these students can access what they need online, and then they can further utilize their skills by practicing in person. So we can use technology. What is the best technology to support teaching language? Okay, technologies such as wikis and blogs and online word processors that allow collaborative writing give language teachers powerful tools that can open new opportunities for students to engage in the writing and also display their finished products. Okay, so some teachers are using Facebook. They have this group with their students, so they can post there their activities of the day. And those people connected in that page could really see everything that they're writing and can comment. Okay, others are using Google Docs and other platforms. Is technology essential to English language learning or English language teaching? Of course, it is salient. It is one of the most important tools of language learning activity. Why? It helps learners to improve their language learning skills. Therefore, teachers should encourage learners to use technology in increasing their language abilities. So there are advantages of technology as well in improving learners' learning. In what ways can we use technology and how can it influence our students? Students can collaborate on group projects using technology. So based on tools such as wikis or Google Docs, the walls of the classrooms are no longer barriers. Okay, this is what I was saying earlier. We don't need to go to the classroom. Because of technology, it can enable new ways of learning, and communication is possible, collaboration is possible, and this technology has really changed the roles of teachers and learners in particular. So how does technology affect learner? It engages students, and as the result, they spend more time on basic learning tasks than students who use a more traditional approach. We cannot teach our students the way our grandparents were taught in the past. So we have to make use of technology. So how does technology support speech, language, and communication? So technology can play an important role in supporting early communication, language, and literacy by offering new opportunities, okay? So we have this interactive and intuitive storytelling using ebooks and apps, as well as other services such as online video calling. So if you need help with ebooks and apps later, please see me. So what are some of the best presentation alternatives? First one, you can use Visme or Visme. It's a cloud-based drag drop presentation software. So it offers all the tools that students need to create not just compelling presentations, but also infographics, data, visualizations, reports, products, demos, or resumes. It's actually ideal for marketers. So here in UAH, we can make use of this. Entrepreneurs, those who have small businesses, of course, educators, and of course, our students can use this as well. Another thing is the so-called Beautiful AI. It is a powerful PowerPoint alternative. It has a twist, actually. So the design of the slides is controlled by artificial intelligence. Their pitch is that presentation will look great every time without much work from the user. The third one is the Microsoft Sway. Okay, so it is a presentation program, actually. So it's part of the Microsoft Office. This is the common one, and I'm actually using this one. So Sway was offered for general release of Microsoft in August, okay, August 2015. So this allows users to have Microsoft account to combine text and media to create a presentable website. There are also some games which you can really teach your students, or you can play with your students using technology. The first one that I'm using in the class is the bragging game. Number 2 is classmate speculation. And lastly, the sentence maker. So I will just briefly explain this game. So first, the bragging game. So this is an activity that would help students expand their vocabulary. So they have to practice using comparative or superlative adjective forms, but also it helps them to be more creative. So how can they play this one? First, they start saying simple sentences. So for example, I live in a house. Then the student has to brag by saying something greater, more exaggerated than the sentence, the previous sentence, but still within the same topic. So maybe the next student can say, really? I live in a bigger house with a pool. Then another one would continue. Second one, the classmate speculation. This is an interactive activity by reinforcing grammar, speaking, listening skills. And this guessing game actually could challenge how much you and your students know about each other. How can you play this? So you will provide a verb, an action word that students can easily make sentences with. And then you think of information about your student using the given verb. And then you start the sentence with the phrase, I think that you, then the verb. Then it will just go on. It will be played around. If you have 43 to 45 students, just like what I have in some of my classes, it might take time, but it is worth the play. Lastly, sentence maker. So this game is best for reviewing vocabulary or grammar concepts that you've taught in your previous classes. So how can you play this? You write a list composed of 15 words with mixed parts of speech. Okay, you can use nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, or prepositions, if you may. Then ask the student to choose any word from the list and make a correct or logical sentence with it. That is sentence maker. All right. So these are some things that I found very relevant and very useful for us educators using technology as a mediating tool in L2 language learning. And I hope that this could help you with your needs inside the classroom. For further references, you can contact me, but these are some of the references that I have used for this presentation. Add-on were my experiences. I should say 16 years experiences in teaching, language learning, processes, and of course, along with some of the lessons that I've learned along the way. Okay, so for more questions, you can freely email me through my email address, cherryjunmarie07@gmail.com. So I would like to thank you all for listening to my presentation. And if you have questions, you can ask me now. All right, so I'll be waiting for your questions, guys. Please unmute yourself and ask me some questions. Thank you. Any questions?